guys, I am Subhan. Welcome to my YouTube channel Viral Postmartam. So today's video is very interesting. Do not skip, keep watching. Let's start with the video. Video title is 20 celebrities who lost everything. This is really so sad to see. So let's start with the video.
This model was super famous in the 2000s, but today she lives on the streets. And Amanda Bynes went from earning millions on TV to working regular jobs just to survive. These are celebrities who lost everything. Starting with Gary Coleman, one of the highest paid child actors on television. But fame didn't bring the happy ending he expected. He became world famous playing Arnold Jackson on the sitcom Different Strokes. I bet you've heard his iconic line,
"What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Will?"
During the peak of the series, he was earning one of the highest salaries ever paid to a child actor on television. He was an absolute success, but everything started going wrong when the show ended in 1986. After reaching adulthood, Gary discovered that his parents, who were responsible for managing his career and finances, had mismanaged his money. In 1989, he filed a lawsuit against his parents and a financial advisor. The court ruled in his favor and ordered a settlement of $1.28 million. But the twist came later. When the finances were finally sorted out, Gary realized that after fees, legal costs, and third-party payments, almost nothing was left. As the years passed, job offers disappeared.
It's really
no
so
relevant
sad.
opportunities and
This is
constant
how life
medical
changes.
expenses. Gary filed for bankruptcy in 1999. From there on, his life entered a cycle of instability. He worked regular jobs and went through personal conflicts that continued to damage his public image. In 2008, Gary was arrested after an argument with his wife, accused of domestic assault. He denied the accusations, and the case did not result in a definitive conviction.
If people would want to believe that I assault my wife at 4'7" and she's 5'6", then they can believe that all day long. I don't care.
Well, why don't you flat out deny it then, right here? Because otherwise, everyone's going to look at this and say he's waffling around, and he probably did it.
I don't waffle.
Please like and follow my channel.
There goes on in my house. I don't waffle. Now, if people believe that I'm waffling, then they can go do what they need to do.
From that point on, Gary's public image never recovered. As a result, the problems kept piling up, and the final stage of his life was marked by health issues, legal conflicts, and financial struggles. In 2010, Gary Coleman died at age 42 after a fall that caused a cerebral hemorrhage. MC Hammer reached the top of the world in record time, but everything collapsed almost as fast as it began. After two successful albums in the early 1990s, his life completely changed. With the release of You Can't Touch This, Hammer became a global phenomenon almost overnight. The success was massive. At his peak, Forbes estimated his net worth at over $33 million. But the fortune didn't last. Hammer started spending at a rapid pace, an extravagant mansion, a luxurious lifestyle, and a massive payroll. The problem was that the money couldn't keep up with the spending. By the mid-1990s, his musical success began to drop sharply.
It's really high level, so when that level started to drop a little bit, it made it tougher to take care of all these people.
We just talk about revenue generation. It's not real complicated. Are you making enough money to sustain the business? It's not, you know, it's not that. So, but from my perspective, it was loyalty, but I just wanted to do loyalty with the interpretation of it. We were dying. Go and look at the murder rate in my city at the time.
Without new hits of the same impact, his financial structure became unsustainable. In 1996, MC Hammer filed for bankruptcy, accumulating more than $13 million in debt. Despite a few comeback attempts, he never regained the status or fortune he had at his peak. Aaron Carter had fame, money, and worldwide attention before he was even an adult.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Aaron Carter, and this is my crib. Come check it out.
The problem was that all of it came too early. Boosted by the success of his brother, Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys, he made millions through music and media appearances, but the money didn't last. In 2013, Aaron revealed he was broke, with more than $3.5 million in debt, much of it related to unpaid taxes. He said he was a victim of poor financial guidance and didn't understand how taxes and contracts worked while he was making money as a child. With no financial control and facing personal and emotional struggles, Aaron was never able to fully recover. In 2022, he died at age 34 at home. Now comes the story
Oh
of
my
someone who
God.
had a career, money, and a guaranteed future, and today survives on what she finds in the trash.
Oh
Former
my
model
God.
Lonnie Willison was at the height of fame, appearing in magazines, working consistently as a fitness model,
is how
and
life
living
changes.
a stable life. But years later, she was found living on the streets
my
of Los
God.
Angeles in terrible
Oh my God.
condition. She was found dirty, weakened, and pushing a shopping cart with everything she owned. According to Lonnie, everything started
is
in
really
2012
unexpected.
when she married actor Jeremy Jackson, known for Baywatch. Unfortunately, the relationship was marked by drug use and violence. The trauma caused an emotional
Okay.
collapse, and even after the divorce in 2014, Lonnie was never able to get back on her feet. She lost contracts, lost jobs, and accumulated debt until she ended up homeless. Today, at 42 years old, she is almost unrecognizable.
personality totally
Lonnie was
changed.
seen again in April 2025, still living on the streets with no signs of recovery. In an interview years ago, she explained why she refuses help.
You're happy the way you are?
Not necessarily. I mean, yes and no. There's like good parts and there's bad parts. But whatever.
Thank you. Thank you, Lord.
And Amanda Bynes ended up losing control of her own life, and today is trying to start over from scratch,
Really
far
so
away from the
sad.
cameras. But before that, let's see how even one of the most recognizable voices in global music watched her money disappear overnight.
He broke. Like
What
broke.
happened to her face?
No money.
With millions of records sold, multiple Grammys, and worldwide success, everything pointed to a financially solid career for Toni Braxton. But the reality was very different. In 1998, at the height of her fame, Toni filed for bankruptcy for the first time. The reason? Extremely unfavorable contracts that gave her very little share of the profits, combined with high expenses to maintain the lifestyle expected of an international star.
B-R-O-K-E broke?
They all go
Like broke.
got
Like
bankrupt.
No money.
No money. Like net worth what?
Negative.
Negative.
Negative, yeah.
And how did that happen?
Well, I had to file, first of all, because I was, like you said, I was broke. I had no money, and I was very surprised. But let me also, I met
Oh my
everyone I
God.
believed and had faith in everyone, and because I allowed all my finances to become everyone else's finances, that's pretty much how I got here.
Even after partially recovering, the problems returned. In 2010, Toni Braxton filed for bankruptcy a second time. This time, the main cause was serious health issues, including lupus, which forced her to cancel tours, her main source of income. With no
Oh.
shows, high medical expenses, and ongoing contractual obligations, her financial situation became unsustainable. Despite the setbacks, Toni managed to reorganize in the following years, returned to music and television projects, and today maintains a more financially controlled life. Wesley Snipes dominated Hollywood for an entire
She was
decade,
beautiful.
but because of this guy, he lost everything. His peak came with Blade, the vampire hunter. The character turned him into an international superstar and an action movie icon. It seemed like nothing could go wrong,
God.
but it did. During the filming of Blade Trinity, Snipes clashed
watching
with
my
director
video.
David
Do
S.
not
Goyer
skip.
and fellow cast members.
And do
He quickly
subscribe.
gained a reputation
Follow my
for being
channel.
difficult to
Press
work
the
with,
bell icon.
something Hollywood rarely forgives. Soon after came the final blow. Wesley Snipes was sentenced to 3 years in prison for tax evasion, serving time right when his career could have reached an even higher level.
They classified it as the biggest trial in the history of the... I thought, wow, am I really that important? You know, I make movies.
Time away from the screen came at a high cost, despite returning after prison and saying in interviews that the experience changed him as a person. Today, Wesley Snipes is still alive and working. He reprised his role as Blade in Deadpool and Wolverine in 2024, breaking records and reminding audiences of the importance of his character. Although he never recovered the absolute stardom of the 1990s, he remains active in film through smaller projects and special appearances, and maintains a respected presence among many fans. Also in Hollywood, Doug Hutchison built a solid career, but one personal decision
They are
was
good
enough to
hero
destroy
2-0.
everything.
This
He
is
became
how life
widely known
changes.
for The Green Mile, where he played Percy Wetmore, a sadistic prison guard. His performance was widely praised, earning critical acclaim and putting his name in the spotlight. It seemed like the beginning of an even bigger phase in his career, but years later, everything collapsed. In 2011, Doug Hutchison shocked the public by marrying Courtney Stodden, a 16-year-old aspiring singer, while he was 51. They met online, and the most controversial part? He claimed he didn't know her age.
They had begun a 4-month courtship over the internet, and say they fell in love without ever meeting each other in person.
Having never met her, and I'm telling you, it was a really beautiful and unique way to get to know someone, because we didn't have the distraction of the physical.
Even though the marriage was legally approved with parental consent, the public reaction was immediate. Doug faced intense backlash, industry rejection, and according to him, was pushed out of Hollywood. The impact wasn't just professional. With no new roles and his image permanently tied to the controversy, his career collapsed. In 2017, Doug Hutchison filed for bankruptcy, officially marking his financial downfall. The couple stayed together for a few years, resisting public pressure, but eventually separated in 2020. Today, Doug Hutchison is remembered less for his talent in The Green Mile, and more as an example of how one personal decision can destroy an entire career. The great king Michael Jackson made more money than any other artist in history. Even so, he died owing hundreds of millions. The reason was a dangerous combination. Michael maintained an extremely expensive lifestyle, Neverland Ranch, with a zoo, an amusement park, and permanent staff, along with constant spending on security, travel, and extravagant purchases. On top of that came lawsuits, massive settlements, and periods where music sales declined. To keep everything running, he became dependent on huge loans, using his own music catalog as collateral. But Michael Jackson died rich in legacy, but deeply in debt financially. Amanda Bynes also started in entertainment at a very young age, but everything spiraled out of control long before adulthood began. Still very young, she spent 4 years on Nickelodeon's All That, and while still a teenager, she was already a phenomenon. In the 2000s, Amanda became a teen idol, starring in movies like What a Girl Wants and Hairspray, with a rapidly rising career. But that trajectory didn't last. Over time, Amanda began struggling with substance-related disorders and a series of legal problems. As a result, TV roles started to disappear, while lawsuits and expenses piled up.
The train wreck that is former child star Amanda Bynes. She's accused of tossing a bong out of her 36th floor apartment in New York City.
Her child star, now 27 years old, was charged with criminal possession of marijuana, tampering with physical evidence, and reckless endangerment after police claim she threw a bong out of her 36-story apartment window in New York late Thursday night.
Her public image collapsed. There were traffic violations, erratic behavior, and even an involuntary psychiatric hold. The situation worsened further when Amanda was placed under a legal conservatorship, losing control over her own finances and personal decisions. For years, the former child star was cut off from the industry and from control of her own life. But unlike many other cases, there was a recent change. Amanda maintained a long period of sobriety, and in 2022, her conservatorship was officially terminated. Today, she's trying to build her life far away from the spotlight of her childhood fame. She's currently studying and working to establish herself as a nail technician, trying to build a new career from scratch. The next celebrity on our list was once called untouchable, but just a few bad decisions were enough to bring everything crashing down. Kim Basinger was one of Hollywood's biggest symbols in the 1980s and 1990s, known for femme fatale roles, playing seductive, dangerous, dominant characters, like in Batman. She conquered the industry.
Please follow my channel and subscribe.
Everything changed after a series of bad decisions. First, Kim invested around $20 million in buying a small town in Georgia, her home state. The idea was to turn it into a tourist and cultural hub. The plan failed completely, the project never moved forward, and the investment became a massive loss. Soon after, another blow followed. Kim backed out of the movie Boxing Helena despite having a signed contract. The
all of them were having so luxury life,
and she was forced to pay millions of dollars in damages. The impact was devastating. In 1993, Kim Basinger filed for bankruptcy, even while still being a major star. To make matters worse, her personal life also collapsed. Her marriage to Alec Baldwin ended in an extremely messy divorce that cost her several more $1 million. Despite continuing to work and even winning an Oscar later on, Kim never fully recovered financially. Another actress who seemed destined for an everlasting career was Lindsay Lohan. She dominated Hollywood while still a teenager, but couldn't handle it well. At her peak, her fortune was estimated at around $30 million. Then the problems hit. issues, a reckless lifestyle, and a long list of legal troubles began to take over her life. There were arrests for drunk driving, probation violations, and even shoplifting accusations that damaged her image. Meanwhile, spending remained high. Without stability, roles disappeared, contracts were canceled, and the industry's trust was lost.
And now to the latest trouble for star Lindsay Lohan. She was arrested early Thursday morning here in New York, and she may now be facing new charges in California.
Seen here leaving a Manhattan police station early Thursday after the troubled actress was detained for allegedly punching this woman in the face.
So sad.
In just a few years, Lindsay Lohan lost money, credibility, and her place at the top of Hollywood. Today, Lindsay Lohan is in a very different phase from her crisis years. At 39, she returned to acting in high-profile projects like Freakier Friday in 2025, took part in TV series, and even made a special appearance on The Simpsons as the voice of Maggie. She's also married and a mother, focusing on family and trying to live a more balanced life, far from the invasive spotlight that defined her past.
So this was the all video. How you feel, please comment me in section, and keep supporting me. Like, share, subscribe my channel. Thank you.